Hello again. There is currently a debate as to whether this country should withdraw from the European Convention on Human Rights. It is said by some that this would be a good thing and prevent illegal immigrants, those who have had their applications for asylum rejected and those foreigners being deported after serving prison sentences, from making groundless legal objections to the process. Before going any further, it might be as well to remind viewers that the ECHR has nothing at all to do with the European Union, and that leaving Europe did nothing to lessen our obligation to the Convention of Human Rights. It is indeed enshrined in domestic law in this country as well, under the 1998 Human Rights Act. The Convention on Human Rights long predates the Common Market and the European Union, and it was Britain which played a big part in formulating the thing. There is nothing wrong with either the European Convention on Human Rights or indeed our own Human Rights Act as such. They both guarantee very important things. Let me read out what's guaranteed. The right to life, freedom from torture, freedom from slavery, the right to liberty, the right to a fair trial, the right not to be punished for something that wasn't against the law at the time, the right to respect for family and private life, freedom of thought, conscience and religion, freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, the right to marry and start a family, and so it all goes on. This is all pretty basic stuff, and I doubt that many of us see anything wrong with promising that we won't torture people in Britain or forbid them the right to start a family, or that we won't lock them up without a trial or deprive them of the right to an education and so on. The devil, though, as is so often the case, lies in the details. We have not tortured people in this country for many years, apart from Northern Ireland during the Troubles, of course, so we can all agree that we don't want to see people tortured here. Suppose, though, that we wish to deport an illegal immigrant back to his home country. Should we do that if he might be tortured there? This is one of the things which has prevented us deporting people from Britain, that the places we are sending them to might not themselves adhere fully to the provisions of the ECHR. Then, too, what does it mean to have a right to a family life? Of course I should be entitled to a family life here in Britain, but what about in Hungary or France? Does that mean I can just hop across the channel and live happily with some girl and then claim that the European Convention on Human Rights means that the French can't chuck me out because that would deprive me of my right to a family life? That sounds ridiculous, of course, but it is the very claim which has prevented Britain from deporting foreign criminals who have managed to get a girl pregnant in this country. What about the right to free elections? Does that mean if I'm on holiday in Portugal during an election, I should have the right to vote there? That sounds absurd, of course, but no more absurd than a Jamaican murderer claiming that it would violate his right to marry and start a family if we sent him back to Jamaica. What it comes down to is this. There's nothing at all wrong with the European Convention on Human Rights, and calling for its abolition is not really sensible. It's how it is applied by the courts which creates mad situations, such as the ones that appear in the newspapers periodically.